Despite repeated negative news, South Africa has something to be happy for, thanks to the 7-year-old Michelle Nkamankeng, who's made history by becoming the youngest published author in Africa and one of the top 10 youngest in the world. Her book is titled Waiting for the Waves, and it details the life of a little girl named Titi and the journey of her family to the beach. This first edition is set to be one of a series of 4. The young author, Michelle Nkamankeng, is accompanied by her mother, Laurentine, and they are here with me this evening to talk about Michelle's work. Laurentine, welcome. And of course, South Africa's young author, Michelle, we are pleased to have you here on the show. Much appreciated, and thanks for making the time. You must be very busy. I'm told you've already appeared on radio shows and newspapers and, quite a busy schedule. Do you find time for school?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how do you work out your schedule? Now that you are talking to me, you've spoken to other people, what do you do? How do you plan your diary?
My mother's the one who plans the diary.
Yeah?
And she makes the days we do the interview.
Yes.
Sometimes she just moves them around.
Okay. Let's leave the diary. Let's talk the book. How many books have you written so far?
I've written 3.
Yeah?
I'm on my 4th one now.
Really? And
Yes.
how old are you?
7.
Okay. So how long does it take you to write one book?
It takes me 4 weeks.
4 weeks. And then in your busy schedule of interviews, of playing, of attending school, of having fun, you find 4 weeks to write a book.
Yes.
Is that how it works? Okay. Laurentine, just give me a brief background about this young lady here before I talk to her about her book and how she went about putting it together. Now she's got 3, and she's working on the 4th. But just a brief background of Michelle's life.
Michelle is she's a bubbling person, fun, outgoing, passionate for her character, and a caring person. Yes.
But, the whole book story about her, and then where does that come from?
At the age of 4, we know that she loved reading.
Yeah.
Then at the age of 5, 6, she liked reading big books.
Yes.
But in the section for writing, it didn't come across us.
Okay.
Yeah, it also came like a surprise, like a shock. But for reading and writing, we know that she loved to read and write all the time.
And what grade is she in now?
She's in grade 2.
Grade 2.
At Sacred Heart College.
Yes. Michelle, you are the star of the interview, right? So you need to focus on me as I talk to you. Is that all right? You can do that. You wrote this book when?
I wrote it when I was 6 years old.
When you were 6 years old, and you were in grade 1, or she was not, it was...
Yeah, in grade 1.
Wow. And it's written in English?
Correct.
Okay. So how did you know how to spell the words and put structure to the story and use your imagination? Tell me.
Like when I take a book,
Yeah.
then when there's a word I can't pronounce,
Yeah.
I keep practicing on it until I get it right. Then I go on to the next word.
Yeah.
And I keep practicing and
Yeah.
the same thing.
And then now you must write. See, grade 1 is tough, ask me. I could only count up to 5 the whole year, and I probably knew only a little bit, maybe my home language, maybe. But English, was not really the language I spoke, and could read a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But you were reading big books, yeah?
Yes.
And they don't intimidate you at all?
No.
So the thought of writing your own book then, when did it come about? Waiting for the Waves, what happened?
It happened when we went to a beach. And I saw the waves coming. Then how it came up, I went in with my dad. Then when the second wave was still coming, I asked my dad, why are the people looking that side? So then he said, oh, because they're waiting for the wave to come. Because direction is that way. So then I said, you've given me a great idea. I'll write my first book called Waiting for the Waves.
Right. And then, sometimes ideas are great, right? People have them, but they forget about them as soon as they have them. So what made you remember that when you get home, you are going to write the book, Waiting for the Waves? When you got home, what happened?
When I got home, I'm like, oh, let me write a book. Oh, I remember about that journey.
Yes.
Oh, I said I will write a book. Okay, let me take some A4 paper, fold it in half, tape it or clip it at the end. Then I write the title in front. Then I start writing side.
Really? And then you just continued. Did your parents know that you were writing a book at the time?
No, they didn't, but my brother and sisters knew.
Yeah. Yes. So you would write, let's say, page 1 today, and then put it aside. And write page 2 and continue like that?
No.
How did it work?
I write 4 pages, then I leave it. Then another 4 pages, then I leave it. Another 4 pages.
And you'd remember that you've already told this part of the story, now you must pick up from somewhere. That was not hard.
No.
So, finally, Laurentine, the book got written.
Yes.
Or published, rather, because the book was there, Waiting for the Waves. And you know, one of the things I like about it is the dedication and acknowledgements from Michelle. Isn't it cool that you even have people that you must thank and say, you know, I'd like to dedicate this to so-and-so. Who do you dedicate the book to?
I dedicate the book to my mom,
Yeah?
my dad, and my 2 sisters and my brother.
Lovely. And the book is called Waiting for the Waves. We don't want to give the story away, do we?
No.
Because people must go buy it, or other children must read it for themselves. In summary, it is a trip to the beach and what you observed there, right?
Yes.
And the experience of visiting the sea. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens, the drama or any of those things, they'll have to read the book. Is that fair? I think it's reasonable. So you've got other 2 books still to follow.
Yes.
They're already written, those books?
Yes, but this is the first one that has been published.
Yes. So the other ones are waiting to be published?
Yes.
Okay. So you hope children read it? Would you like them to read it? Because I can see there's going to be a time when they make it a compulsory book at schools, you see, for the grade ones. Huh? It's likely to be. It's likely to be. Are you looking forward to that?
Yes.
Yeah. So when are the next 2 books coming out?
We're still thinking of the date.
But they are already written, no? Completed.
Yes.
They are not work in progress.
No.
So how did you get your book to be published? Because you're still very young. You're still a small kid. You wouldn't know any publishers anyway. So what happened to make sure that this becomes a book that's available in public now?
Well, when I was done the book, I gave it to my mother.
Yeah?
That time, she didn't know how to publish a book. So luckily, I pushed her, because if I didn't push her, she would not know how to publish a book.
Yes.
But now she does.
Yes. So you, in a way, you've taught your mother stuff, you see, indirectly. Now she knows what it takes to publish a book.
And then after that, my dad was overseas.
Yeah.
So then my mom phoned my dad. She's like, your daughter has written a book. Then he's like, you know, kids, they just write things for fun.
Yeah.
Then I came like 3 weeks or 2 weeks with another book.
Yes.
Then my mother's like calling my dad again. Your daughter has written another book. Then he was like, I still don't be serious.
Yeah.
Then when I was on my 3rd book, I was finished it, then I gave it to my mother. Then she called my dad again. she's like, your daughter has written another book. Then he's like, oh, maybe I should take this seriously. So then like a few weeks later, I told my mom, if they don't publish this book, I will never write books again. So then she called my dad. She's like, your daughter said, if we don't publish this book, she won't write books again. So then they're like, okay, let's publish it.
And then here, we now have the book. And now your mom knows how to publish a book. And then you are now shortlisted amongst the top 10 young writers in the world. You know what that means?
Yes.
And now you are the youngest writer on the African continent. And this continent has got 1 billion people. 1 billion people. And this country has got 55 million people.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. You see, and here you are, we're talking to you, and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are going to know about your book. And we're very proud of you, all right? And keep writing your books. We much appreciate. Michelle, everything of the best.